ball gown and a little tiara because I just got finished talking with Amanda Marks on this podcast, Nerdy For. I asked Amanda what she was nerdy for, and she came over and put on her wedding dress, and it's pink, and she wore a tiara, and she's so much fun. And we had a great time chatting. We talked about Jewish summer camp. We talked about her new snow cone machine, and we talked about doing comedy in Atlanta. It was so much fun. I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nerdy For, the podcast where we find out what people are nerdy for. I'm here with my friend Amanda Marks, but you have two names. Which one would you like to go by for this?
Just call my biatch. That is my other name.
Oh,
That's
she's swearing already.
No, sorry.
No,
that
okay,
was not a swear. That was like...
Amanda Marks Goldstein or just Amanda Marks?
Well, my maiden name is Goldstein, but I'm really just Amanda Marks. But I keep it on Facebook, so everyone from high school is like, oh my God, what is Amanda Goldstein doing? She is so cute.
You are so cute because you are wearing a costume. We are wearing, well, you're not wearing,
I'm wearing
a costume.
Hers is not a costume.
I'm so sorry, Amanda. I just called your wedding dress a costume.
No, I'm cosplaying as a bride.
Is this your real wedding dress?
This is my real wedding dress, and yes, it was pink.
I was going to say,
I was not a virgin.
If you send me a photo of your wedding day, we can put it in post too, so we can see it. And
okay,
then we'll get a picture of the two of you together after the recording.
Your colors were blush and bashful?
Yeah.
Because you grew up in the South.
That's right.
Did you wear a black bra when you got married too?
I wore no bra. No, I did wear a bra. No, I wore a cream bra. But like I have a friend who's always like, I can see your bra or I can see your panty line, and I'm like, so what? People know I'm wearing underwear. I don't care.
You want people to know that scaffolding's involved.
I need the lift
to hold up all the goods.
That's right.
All the assets.
So to speak.
We are still not swearing, and I'm starting my timer now. Okay. Yes, so we're here with Amanda Marks, and she came over and she put on her wedding dress and surprised me, and it's so fun to have a weird friend. I just love it. I love it so much. And so I put on my Sweetbriar College pink and green roses.
Mm-hmm.
The one who, there's like a saying at our college, like the one who deserves it wears the rose. But it's in Latin, so I can't read it.
I don't know. What does that mean?
It means you have to work hard, bitch. Get it together. Work hard, and then you get a pinky ring and possibly a rose. The pinky ring is like your alumni ring, not like a wedding ring. Okay. This
sounds like The Bachelor.
No, it's not a finishing school. It's a real school. The Bachelor is scary. So, okay, we have you here. We're going to find out. Amanda Marks, what are you nerdy for?
Just like today, this week in general, what are we?
What do you want to talk about for the next hour?
Oh gosh, well, this week I've been nerding out over a few things. Number one, getting rid of crap in my house,
Decluttering.
Decluttering. Which, if I have to, I usually am organized by piles or hiding things in my closet, and then once in a while I'll get this urge just to get rid of a bunch of stuff. So I did that this week, and I'm really handy.
Have you traced the decluttering with the cycle of the moon and the cycle of your ovulation?
No, that's crazy.
Is that a thing?
No.
On a very special Oprah, I learned that during different parts of your cycle, you have your creative energy, you have your this is not serving me energy.
Okay.
So,
no, I don't do that.
do you do it with your horoscope?
No, I don't. But I did in high school. I was the horoscope lady.
Oh, really?
Like I was on the newspaper staff, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to treat this respectfully or seriously. So I had two columns. I was Madame Spartan, which we are the Spartans, and I made up all the horoscopes based on how I was feeling that week and people I didn't like and people I did like. I'm like, when's your birthday? I'm like, do you like someone? Okay, we're going to make this a good horoscope. And that is how I talked in high school. No, I'm just joking. I didn't talk that way. And then I was also Dear Amanda. And
my gosh.
I wasn't waiting for people to ask me for advice. So instead I made up questions and of course the answers.
It's like strong yenta energy coming.
But they were weird. It was basically like The Onion for me, but then our journalism teacher made me do a serious article, which was about our dress code. That's all. I got to go to another school and check out their dress code, and then I compared the two.
Paint a picture.
Yes.
Where are we? What time of the planet, what was your dress code? Was it sexist?
I mean, yeah, I think all dress codes are sexist, but I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, in a community called Mountain Brook. And it's one of those communities where if people are from Birmingham and then they want to dig deeper about where you live, and there's like, oh, well, we're in Birmingham. And I go, I'm embarrassed to tell you. And then they're like, oh, is it Mountain Brook? Is it, cause like, okay, so have you seen any of the trailers for Bama Rush? Or that Bama Rush on TikTok?
What's Is this rushing for getting into a fraternity or sorority?
It's for really the sororities. It follows like sorority life at University of Alabama.
Is it a reality TV show?
Well, HBO Max is coming out with a documentary about it.
Oh,
but it's based on like this TikTok trend that happened where these girls are rushing for sorority.
Bama Rush.
Yeah, and they're just like they just go from head to toe in what they're wearing, right? Mm-hmm. You've probably seen the videos of just people saying, my headband is from this, my dress is from Hello Molly, my shoes are from Nordstrom's, and it's for a sorority. But and some people are watching these videos being like, this is a whole other world. These are the girls feels like very much the culture I grew up in Birmingham. But I grew up Jewish in a very WASPy Bible Belt community where just a year before we had sorority and fraternities in high school.
Wow.
And I didn't do it, but just like the year older than me, that's when they started letting the Jews in, right? That was just like in the mid-90s. Thank you for letting us in your sorority. It was like Dazed and Confused.
Okay, but what year was this?
I graduated in 95.
In 95, okay.
So you can do
the we're like the same age.
But I was also like the sole, not the only, but really it felt like it a lot of times, the sole like outspoken liberal person in the classroom.
Oh.
And I also dressed differently. Like it took a while. Now,
can I guess? Could you wear Birkenstocks? No, Doc Martens with a cute short skirt.
All of the above. I wore Doc Martens. No, actually, I don't even think. Did I have Doc Martens? I think I did. I had like the low-rise Doc Martens and Vans and Birks, and I was wearing like Beastie Boys t-shirts and
little rocker, liberal energy,
alternative, wearing the flannels and bell bottoms.
Wait, did you join a sorority when you were in college?
No.
Okay.
I was never. No offense. I'm not trying to offend anyone who belongs to a sorority or the Greek system. It has, I think, its place. And
I think in high school it's a little early.
I think it's
high school sounds weird.
Just do like the band and volunteer with the people who pick up on the highway.
I did Jewish youth group, which I guess you could say was like a sorority. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very selective.
Yeah, you didn't have to like get into it. They had like
no,
Rush.
You have to be Jewish.
Right, you just have to be Jewish.
You can't fix that.
That's right. There's one thing you had to be, and that was Jewish.
Yes, and that's when you have to be born that way.
Were you in a sorority, Amy?
No, but we didn't have sororities at my college, but we had like little clubs. Like I was in the singing club.
Yeah, because you went to an all
women's college.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So
where my sister-in-law went to that same school.
Oh my god.
We've talked about this like 5 times.
We're going to talk about it every time.
Are you pretending for the podcast, or you really didn't remember?
I really didn't remember. Do you know how many like sister-in-laws have gone to my college of my friends?
Many.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So many.
Okay, I want to back. So you're decluttering.
Yeah.
I think it's really fascinating the Jewish culture in the South, because I didn't grow up in the South and I moved here, and then you're talking about the brisket belts and all like. I think, and the guys have been here for hundreds of years, and it's so fun. And then I realized that the first colony in Georgia, the guy who Oglethorpe, I think, started it, and it's a Savannah. It's like has all those little parks.
Savannah has a very old Jewish community.
It has the oldest synagogue in the country there, because there was religious freedom in that colony. Like celebratory gunfire. Well, no, that's too soon. Like celebratory jazz hands.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. I think that's a nice legacy to have, and not the other kind.
And people get like super confused about the whole Southern Jewish thing. They're like, okay, so you're from the South, but your parents, are they from New York? right? And I'm like,
that's where a lot of people don't know that Jewish people only come from New York. There's not another place at all.
There's not.
They have
like the other
else.
place is Boca, right?
There's 2 points of entry.
But
you start in New York, you end in Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
But my great grandparents, they came over to the Southeast in the late 1800s. So I'm like a fifth gen Alabama Jew.
Yeah.
Here
Street
we are.
cred all the
Street
way.
cred, right? I want credit for that.
You should start a sorority and a fraternity.
No, thank you. I'm good.
This is really cool.
I did. It's the Goldsteins. That's my Greek system.
Okay, so you're decluttering. Mm-hmm. Are you Marie Kondo? How far are you taking this on a scale of this is not serving me to Maria Kondo, where it's like,
I know,
it doesn't spark joy.
Right. So my sister and I talk about the Marie Kondo theory of decluttering, which if it doesn't spark joy, if you don't love it, get rid of it. But for me, does it give me anxiety to get rid of it? And I have stages of decluttering. Ooh. And it's, I remove the items, put them in a bag. It goes into the garage for like a year.
Yeah,
and then
the holding cell.
There is a holding cell for my stuff.
Do I need it? And if you don't need it for the entire year, then you can,
There's times that I will take things out of there and be like, what was I thinking? And then I'll put it back where it came from.
I find depending on my hormones, I will make terrible decisions.
Well, I cleaned out my daughter's room. So
with her consent?
No.
Mom.
No, but it was
Don't touch my stuff, Mom.
But it was stuff that, like, shoes she had outgrown. And do
you have any secrets?
No, there's no. I did if I didn't know if I should throw it away, I put it in a bag and said, like, she loves salt and she.
Okay.
So she
That's
has this,
biblical.
She has this salt lamp, right? Like, which is like a thing, like the pink giant salt lamp.
Like the Himalayan?
Yeah. And I'm not going to say whether or not she has licked that lamp. But
that's what I was wondering where this was going right now. Does your daughter just have like a salt lick in there?
Right?
She's like, don't touch my salt lick.
She's like a horse. I think she's missing some nutrients or something.
Is she eating dirt? That's one of the signs. The pediatrician told me my son was eating dirt. He's got to test him for
something.
Yeah.
No, she's just, I don't know what it is with salt. She makes pickles. Like she is a pickle.
Oh,
She's
I love
pickled
pickles.
herself, and so she has the salt lamp, but the light bulb's not working. I plugged it in. The light bulb's not working. There's no way you can't change the light bulb in this. It is like a solid piece that's connected to a stand.
I didn't know that I figured that the lights would be removable, but
it's not. I mean,
single purpose, single use item.
But I made sure I put that aside, and I said, "Can I throw that away?" She goes, "Well, it's broken." I go, "I know, but."
She's like, "I'm not done licking it yet."
I'm licking my way to the light bulb. We'll change it eventually.
My mom loves salt, and my father makes jokes that he was just going to put salt licks on either end of the sofa in the living room. So instead of eating popcorn, she could just lick the salt lick.
I don't know. I think her taste buds are just different. The amount of salt she puts on things, I don't know how. It's like not.
Does she have low blood pressure? Maybe her body's craving it.
Yeah, her blood pressure's, I think, normal.
You're like,
How old are we that we're talking? The conversation's gone to
we're not taking her to the doctor to find any of this stuff out.
We are this close to cholesterol conversation. We graduated high school in 95.
I know, we're old people.
Okay, I'm proud of you for decluttering. What's something cool that you've brought into your home that this is a game changer?
Oh, the snow cone machine.
Why did you bury the lead? We should be having pink snow cones in our pink dresses right now.
Well, I love ice. I do. Don't you? You have a favorite ice, don't you, Joel?
This is
a type of ice or
Yes.
a flavor?
No, I don't mean. Okay, snow cone flavors aside, are there restaurants, or fast food or otherwise that you go to, you're going to get a good cup of ice from them?
Oh, I just think I like ice. I don't have a type of ice I like. I like cold things sometimes.
But Chick-fil-A's got good ice. Sneaky Pete's, which I don't know if we have here, they have good ice.
So
there's good
I
ice.
know a lot about ice because I work in interior design, and this is going to be an embarrassing conversation. I feel okay. So they have it's those nuggets, the nugget ice. That's the one people like to chew on with their teeth, but they're not supposed to do because it's bad for your enamel.
Whatever.
And it's going to make all of your fake things pop out. But so you can buy those for your own home. You can get the nuggets at home. You can buy a fancy ice maker. That's the highest level of
They're
expense
expensive.
for the nuggets. My friend calls them rabbit turd
They do.
ice.
They look
Shout
like little
out
rabbit
Heather
cuckoos.
Rodbell, the rabbit turd ice. She loves it. Then you get the cubes and you get the clear cubes. That's something people covet, is a clear ice machine.
My husband likes to make the whiskey ice cubes, the giant cubes.
Yeah.
That
I do
barely
like
fit,
I like
and-
the giant ice cubes and whiskey I like, but it just feels like a fun extravagant thing.
So you
'cause it
do
takes
have
so long.
opinions about ice cubes.
Well, I don't
For
like to
certain
chew
drinks.
on the big one. It's just they look cool, but
They
also
do.
I don't do them in my house because it's you have to freeze it and then you can only make so many at a time, and then you
Right.
make one drink and you're like, well that one's gone. And I froze this over however long, but yeah, I guess I do have opinions on ice. I'm sorry.
I'm saying everyone, you may not realize you have opinions on ice, and then you start
I'm
talking about
sorry.
it and realize you do.
You can get those ice cubes monogrammed.
Yeah, the
I've seen
place.
they have like stamps for them, right?
Yeah. With
The
all
place
your-
where we host Top Shelf, Distillery of Modern Art, they have
good plug.
a customized grid for their ice that they use, and they stamp the ice on it.
Yes, Kenton, my husband, was super excited about that.
That's fancy.
That's next level.
Is it just like with their logo on it?
It's like one has there's different sides to it. So there's like stripes, there's their logo, there's horizontal stripes.
Ooh.
It just depends, I guess, how the
So-
mixologist is feeling.
Is your snow cone machine a Snoopy snow cone machine?
No, I actually just got rid of the Snoopy snow cone machine.
Is it in the garage? Can I have it?
No, I did. So
I coveted that so much as a child.
for
Lisa
Hanukkah,
Pattison had one.
for Hanukkah, we would get the Toys R Us toy catalog and circle what we wanted. And I always circled that damn Snoopy snow cone machine. I never got it. And then my friend, who I worked with years ago for Hanukkah, she knew that and she got me a Snoopy snow
That's a
cone
good
machine.
friend. That's a good friend.
It was so nice. It's very hard to use. It's like
Do you
a
like-
cheese grater. It is like a cheese grater, and you push and
Yeah.
you do this, and you're burning a few calories while you do it.
I like the idea that for kids they had to do manual labor.
It
It
was.
wasn't automatic.
Was not.
Well,
I bet the Snoopy snow cone machines are automatic now.
Well, people are going to lose fingers. You got to be careful what
gotta skin your
kind of grinders you
knuckles.
give to
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
My grandparents had like a 1950s one where you put the ice cubes in the top. And,
Yes.
and it was so hard to use. But they had an ice machine in their kitchen.
Fancy.
It not to brag, but they had 2 stoves and as well. Like my grandfather sold appliances, but that I didn't realize like having ice like that is so great. And we had an ice machine, a freestanding ice machine here at the Brown House for a good 7 years. We went through 3 of them because they kept breaking.
Yeah.
And then the last time my husband was like, "Please don't replace it.
That's
It's
just
so
not-
loud,
Yeah.
releasing ice. You can hear it all like echo up the hall and into the upstairs." So.
I would get one of those big ones that like a
At the
commercial
hotel?
size ones when you flip it open, like you could fit
Put
like
the
a
bodies,
human body.
Oh,
put the
yeah,
bodies
yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Wait
Just keep
for
it in the
winter.
garage.
The cooler.
That way you don't have to worry about the noise, but you have
No.
access to
But
it.
it's constantly melting ice into water, so it's wasting water. And I didn't realize that. It made me feel very guilty.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not circulating it?
I know.
Well, the snow cone machine uses ice. Like it's not making ice. You have to put ice in there.
Okay, how
And
big is it?
It's huge. I got a commercial grade
Oh, wait,
snow
what?
cone machine.
Can you send a picture and we
Yeah.
can put it in post?
Yeah.
Send a picture. We'll put that
Okay,
in
we're gonna need a
post.
wedding picture and we need a snow cone picture.
Right. I was like, so people were making all sorts of weird purchases during the pandemic. Some people got
Oh, that was a
puppied.
pandemic purchase?
was.
That makes a lot of sense.
It was
that
a
makes so much more
pandemic,
sense.
but it was also one of those things on my list of I love kitchen gadgets. And it was on my bucket list if I was ever going to get like a commercial grade kitchen gadget, what would it be? And a toss up between like margarita machine and a snow cone machine. So I got a snow cone machine. I also figured I could eventually use it for Oscar and Ruby's B'nai Mitzvah party, which I didn't actually use it for their B'nai Mitzvah party. But it's fun. And we've sold snow cones before on the street. You know, some kids are selling lame-o cups of lemonade, but the Marks kids are selling snow cones.
You're entrepreneurial.
That's right. And gonna make my money back.
You got two kids running the booth, and other kids just stomping out the competition, literally being like, "Get your lemonade out of
Shaking
here!"
down.
I actually don't let them touch this machine because it's pretty. It's pretty hardcore. It's dangerous.
It's understandable. I do love the idea that you're like telling your kids, like, "No, you can't touch the snow cone machine.
Mommy's
this
machine.
is mom."
This is mine. But I make my own syrup.
Wait, what?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's real easy.
But you need a maple tree.
Not
Oh.
maple.
Oh my
I'm
god!
so sorry. I am
didn't
such
grow
an
up-
airhead.
I didn't grow up in the Northeast. What am I, from Vermont?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about for pancakes. You're talking about for on the ice
I love that.
cones.
Yeah, you're just like, now we're on pancakes.
Ugh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Amanda's going out and tapping maple trees.
right.
I'm paying attention. I am
would.
paying attention. I'm just
I
not.
would if I could. I'm so frugal, right? So the fact that I invested in this snow cone machine.
Well, I mean, how much were you spending on snow cones before? You know, that's the thing. You cut out the middle.
leaving
Right.
money on the table.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm so frugal when the
Yeah.
ice cream man's coming down our street. First of all, when the kids were little, I'd be like, "Oh, there's that scary musical van." It took them.
You're conditioning your kids to hate treats.
I heard someone say.
to be afraid.
Yeah, no,
to
I-
be afraid of that van.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
I heard someone say the music means they're out of ice cream. Please don't tell that to the
That's funny.
kids.
I actually have a video of me being like, "Oh, there's the scary musical van," and Ruby, she's like 3 or 4, she can't pronounce her R's. It says that. She goes, "No, it's ice cream. Mommy, why do pictures of ice cream on it if it's not the ice cream man?"
You should just start since you have your own snow cone machine, just start selling your stuff for cheaper than the ice cream van. So
Yeah.
then they just won't come around anymore.
And I'll play better music.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh, what's better music for getting children to make bad choices? R. Kelly.
Yes.
Jesus.
Too soon. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
How many snow cones do you have a week?
You do like a breakfast snow cone, a lunch snow cone, and a
good.
sensible dinner.
We're just reaching snow cone season.
That's true.
So I have to bring it out again. It takes up a lot of space.
I
It's
think
huge.
you should work a lot with the peppermint flavors and eggnog for the wintertime.
Oh, I don't know about eggnog. That sounds gross.
Is
And I'd rather do like an old fashioned flavor.
like an
that.
alcoholic
Yeah,
one.
that would be delicious.
You know what? I think
Or like rum
getting
and
the snow
Coke.
cone machine is so much better than getting the margarita machine because you can just put margarita stuff on top of the snow cone.
Which I bought margarita mix.
No, no.
To use as a flavor.
No, we're not doing this. We're making fresh lime juice. And I'm going to have to stage an intervention.
Oh,
The mix is
homemade.
garbage.
Well, this was for kids, so.
What you're training the kids up on margarita flavors.
Yeah, it's a virgin.
Yeah, the mix doesn't have
It's a
alcohol.
virgin
My
snow
mom,
No, it
cone.
does. You're right.
my
You're
mom
right.
used to buy like the tubs of margarita mix and
feed it to you guys.
I mean, we would eat the mix. We wouldn't have it with tequila, but we would just eat the mix. It's just
I did not know people did this to children. Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Is
the
it-
difference between that and like sour lemonade flavor?
Yeah.
You know?
Green coloring, I'm guessing. That's why the mix is
Maybe,
nasty.
yeah.
You're right. It's probably corn syrup and lemon lime juice.
Yeah. We would have the mix. My mom was just a raging alcoholic, so what she would do is she would fill up a tumbler glass of tequila, bottom shelf, because I remember one time we had a party at my house.
There's another shelf.
Exactly, look at the bottom. But I remember one
Top,
time
well, bottom.
I was like talking to her after I had this party because she used to drink like bottom shelf tequila and Milwaukee's Best. And then someone brought a case of Milwaukee's Best to a party at my house, and it stayed there for like months. No one would drink it. It was just awful. And I remember asking her, being like, "How did you drink this?" She was like, "Oh, well, she's quit drinking since then." But she was just like, "Oh, I just had a really bad drinking problem, and I had to feed 3 kids. So like, it was just like, all right, how can I still do this and have food on the table? So it's just the worst of the worst." So she
Yeah.
sacrificed.
She
Yeah.
sacrificed. You're right. It's very
Moms
addictive.
do what we gotta do.
Alcohol
you
is
know?
very addictive. It's like more addictive than a lot of the drugs out there in the world.
But sugar.
Oh, yeah, sugar's pretty addictive too. I can't believe people are grooming their children to get their palates ready for margaritas by giving them the mix. Do you give them Bloody Mary mix
well, then they're
too?
less curious.
Do a shot of the Bloody Mary mix.
Yeah.
They're just less
You
curious.
get tomato
then.
juice in you. It's healthy.
I grew up drinking tomato juice. My parents served it. We would have people over for Shabbat dinner. We had,
Aw.
you know.
Was it the blood of Christ? I don't know anything about religion
Yeah.
at
Also,
all.
not
It's
well,
a problem.
Jesus is not a part of Judaism.
Not a Jewish thing.
Right?
Well, he
Jesus-
was Jewish.
Yeah, but then he did a whole other thing.
I asked my grandmother when I was a teenager. I was like, "Is Easter for the same Jesus Jesus as Christmas?" She was like, "Oh Lord."
There's only one.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. There's a lot of Jesuses in the yard right now. No, that's terrible.
Oh my God.
It's true.
Please edit
Jesus
that out.
just texted me. Jesus, my friend Jesus, because he just installed a curtain rod for me. So that's why I said Jesus is in the yard. That sounded like a slur, but literally Jesus is in the yard. He's Diego's son, and he brought my curtain rod and installed it. I'm sweating. All right.
Me too.
It's all the
That's
tension.
what happens when you age. I feel like I need to take this dress off.
Kenton tried to snuggle with me last night,
you're
and
like,
I
"Get away
had the
from
fan
me."
on. I had the covers completely off. I'm like, "Don't touch me right now." He's like, "You're having a hot flash," and I didn't realize I was having a hot flash until he said it with his face, and then I was like, "I'm not."
You're like, fuck off.
Yeah. You're having a hot flash. What were we just chatting about? Oh, your snow cone machine. Okay. I think this is a great purchase. I support you 1,000%.
Come over for snow cones. Everyone's invited.
I think we should build a special
They're
nook.
just $2 a snow cone.
Yeah. You're like, I gotta make my money back.
Are you going to start entertaining children at children's birthday parties? Bring your snow cone machine.
No.
Bring this outfit of a pink
Oh, I
dress.
do look like a princess.
You look
don't
like
I?
a princess.
Princess snow cone. That sounds like my worst nightmare. That's like when people are like, "Can I bring my child to your comedy show?" And I'm like, I don't care how clean a set is. It is never geared towards kids.
Yeah.
No, kids
Like,
have
don't- I am-
terrible senses of
And,
humor.
and I am not a magician.
I'd be so bored as a kid at a comedy show.
I did a show years ago. It was for Amber North, and my neighbor showed up with her kids. And
How old are the
Yeah, I
kids?
was gonna
Paint
say,
a
what age?
picture.
So this was, they were like, I want to say 8 and 10. And they were not from the United States, like had never celebrated Halloween before, and they were asking us for candy advice just to like paint a picture of like they weren't up and up about American pop culture. So they saw on Facebook I had a comedy show. They brought the kids. This was at Highland Inn Ballroom and Lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's like at 8:00 at night on a Saturday. You know, when kids are at their best.
So someone, the door person runs up to me and goes, "Amanda, your neighbor's here and they brought their children." And I was like, "Which neighbor brought their kids?" So she brought them. Luckily, I was like, I think 1 or 2 in the lineup.
Okay,
And,
so you
and I said to Amber, I'll get rid of them. Don't worry. So I went up to her and my neighbor was like, "Hey, you're so sweet to come, but just so you know, stand-up comedy is not really set up for kids. People are going to be talking about content that's just not appropriate. You may not." I go, "Don't worry, my set is clean, but you may want to leave after I perform." And she's like, "Okay, no problem." I'm like, awesome. And I told Amber, and she's like, "Thank God," because the comedians were getting uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So Amber hosted. She got through her set. Then I went. Then someone else went, and Amber is up on stage. She goes, "Oh, and look, those kids are still here." And I was like, "Oh my God!" And Sam Severin was going next. And if you,
I love her.
but if you know her, she's
Yeah.
like, she's just an open book. She talks
Authentic.
about everything.
Yeah.
So I ran up to the mom and I go, "Hey, the next comedian is going to be talking about," and I just spout out every possible thing I could that I thought would make her so uncomfortable that she would get up immediately and leave. And I was like, she's talking about sex, masturbation, drug use, prostitution. I just like
Dogs and cats living together.
I just was like every single thing I could think of, and she's
That's
like,
so good.
"Okay, we'll go." And then like 2 minutes into Sam's set, they're like walking out the door, and everyone's like, "Thank God."
That's wild.
They've seen that like in actual tapings of comedy fancy specials, like John Mulaney's recent one. There's an 9-year-old up in the
Yeah.
and he addresses it, and then
I remember
does
that.
callbacks to the kid.
Yeah.
And then Mike
Birbiglia.
Birbiglia's one, the new one, I think it was, there's a child in the front row. And yes. he asks the child how old the child is, and then he says, "Okay, what's about to happen here is your parents' fault, not mine."
Yeah, no, I remember that bit. Well, because that's true. Because like, not even if like they're gonna get comedy is not designed for children to understand because it's very complex. There's like different layers of it. So even if it's not like a thing of like, oh, my kids heard whatever, I won't get offended. It's like, yeah, they're still not gonna get it though.
Don't waste your money on it.
Yeah, they're not gonna understand how funny and smart this stuff is.
And I'm not a clown. Like that's like, I mean,
they're not gonna get puns.
That's what I was saying. That's why
they're not gonna get innuendo.
Most kids, I mean, I know for like young kids, like it's just the same 10 minutes over and over again because kids like repetition. And then others, that's wild to bring, especially like I said for those specials. How much are you spending on that front row ticket for your child to be like? Going home later and telling their friends, being like, so I heard about a vagina. I don't know what that is, but everyone was really enthused about it.
Everyone loves vaginas.
Yeah.
I mean, that is my go-to material.
We're literally dressed like them right now.
Yeah. The inside.
That is funny thing is about Sam Severin doing a performing for children.
For children, right?
I love her to death.
By the way,
she's so funny.
Sam, I didn't meet her through comedy. I met her because she was our babysitter.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure she's a great nanny, but Nanny Sam and Stage Sam are two different people.
Right, and once you see Stage Sam, you're like, you can't babysit anymore. I got quite a few babysitters from the Atlanta stand-up comedy scene, and I would not advise it. I'm not saying they're bad babysitters. I'm just saying I know too much. Right?
I think they would make. See, that's the thing, though. I think these are the people I would trust more.
Because you know their secrets.
Because you know their secrets, but also they're gonna have a fun, silly time. Past guest Catherine Blanford, before she was a nanny forever.
Yes, I'm not saying and Sam Gordon is a nanny. They're and look, I've had like at least 5 women from the Atlanta stand-up scene watching my kids who are now teenagers. Like they're way too old. They babysit themselves.
If you got your children a babysitter now, it would look like you're hooking them up on a date.
Oh yeah. Well, and my oldest looks like he should be at a comedy show with us. He could get up there and probably do better than me.
I hired the neighbor, this babysitter across the street, and she was little, and my son was big, and they were the same size, and I was like, "Oops, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work."
Yeah. So we got to that point where I was like, I can't use this woman as our babysitter because I got I don't really use Twitter anymore, but I got, when you're on Twitter and it'll be like, oh, your friend has an account. Do you want to follow them? So someone who I already followed on Twitter established a new Twitter account. So I got a notification, except it was for her webcam stuff.
Yeah, for some sex work.
For some sex work, right? Which is fine. I don't care. Like it's your body, you own it, you do whatever you want. But with an 11-year-old boy in the house who has a phone, I couldn't.
Yeah, if they search their
babysitter's
name. If they
did a search and she was showing up looking like just an adorable young girl with like her hair in a top knot and a giant sweatshirt and glasses on, right? But I knew she was doing this other stuff again, which is fine. But if my kids were 5, it'd be one thing, but 11, it was a whole other thing.
You thought he'd be
sniffing
around.
I didn't know what was going to to and then we got to the point where
sitter,
right, hot babysitter, and
I mean, you're very true on that. If I was like a 12-year-old, I found out, I'm like, well, let's go on. click.
Well, I mean, I have it now, and I'm going to sound 1,000 years old. If you we Google your babysitter and their Instagram account comes up, and then they're wearing a modern bikini. It's a lot of cheekies.
Oh, yeah. I had to warn my husband that...
Oh, yeah, your daughter.
Yeah, my daughter got a new bikini, and it was very cheeky. And I was just like, this is what the bikinis look like now. I'd actually bought a bathing suit. Not only was it cheeky, it was very vagina-y. And I could not...
Yeah, I was going to say, we got to make sure everyone knows what cheeky means.
It means your butt show. It's like, it's not as long, but like the butt cheeks are now, they're a lot more exposed on bathing suits, but that's just the style. And there's less and less options for full coverage on your butt. And I feel like I'm constantly pulling my bathing suit out of my butt.
Amen. What's that, not cleavage, what's side boob? So what's side boob for butts?
Yeah, side butt. I don't know.
Side butt, yeah.
Like a side piece, and that's a girlfriend, right? A side
cheek.
side chick, side cheek.
I think like side piece more means like that it's like more of a
someone you're
mistress.
cheating.
Yes,
Yeah.
a mistress. Yeah,
I think side cheek.
side cheek. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, loose boob, loose cheek.
That's for the older women.
Yeah.
Loose boob. Wow.
I got a bit of loose
We got
boob
loose
here.
cheeks too. So
Sorry, I like butts. Let's go.
I like butts. No, I did. I bought this bathing suit on. I keep on I do this stuff where I need to get something new, and I love doing research, but sometimes I don't. So my lazy way is just putting it quickly in Google and then hoping Facebook presents me with an ad that will take me to what I want. Like we needed new health insurance. So I did a quick Google, and then I knew Facebook would send me ads, and we got a new...
You have an assistant.
Right. Yeah, it's like having an
Meta.
assistant. It's like AI. It's like my AI assistant that's following my every move on the internet. I needed a new bathing suit, and I was getting these ads for a website called Swimshy or Swimshy. I never know how to pronounce any of this stuff. Oh. And they all looked gorgeous, and then I ordered 2, and they're like, free returns. There's not free returns. And I have to ship them back to China.
Yeah.
So I just had it. So I tried one on, looked great. The other one, and when I tell you it was vagina-y, I'm like, who has a vagina this small? I'm like, my vagina is not huge. Like, this is not gonna. I don't know who fits into
Chinese
this.
vagina.
Right. It's like young, tiny
you
vagina. I don't know.
Ask your older son. I'm sure he's an expert by now.
I don't know. I just like. I
He's
think
done a lot of online research.
I think it's made for petite vaginas and not regular vaginas. They should.
The petite vagina line.
Yeah, like they should. They have like the inseam on pants. Like they need like. And they have measurements on there. They need the size guide for like your vagina girth because I don't know who would fit into. And there's only so much shaving I can do.
Oh my gosh! Do you remember? Like, did you ever? I used one of my mom's pads one time when I was like a teenager, and I couldn't even walk. I felt like a cowboy, just like I couldn't
you took
get
like
my
a
legs
couch
together.
cushion in between your legs.
Yeah, I was walking like John Wayne. Like, how does she survive this?
It's like putting this microphone in between your legs and having to walk with it.
Yeah. But maybe like her girth was bigger than mine.
Right? She had a big vagina girth.
She had lived a life.
They just have made absorbent materials thinner.
Yeah,
then.
they have.
The advancements in absorbent materials.
It's not just sawdust.
Oh.
Wood chips.
Is that what it was back then?
Wood chips surrounded by white plastic.
In the 1800s? Well, they didn't have plastic in the 1800s.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think, right? What did they do? I think about that all the time. Especially because they have like fancy underpants now you can bleed into.
Yeah.
Like what people do, like women over the last forever trying to like live their lives and do all the things they have to do every day and survive, and then also have a period. And then all of like the weird, crazy things that happen to us with like, what's that when do you know like when people get like things on inside of them?
Endometriosis?
That kind of stuff? Is that what, fibroids? I know I'm kind of just like,
Are you proud that I knew what she was talking about?
Yeah.
Because she goes, when people get those things inside them.
Well, like she said,
it could have been anything.
Y'all have the weird. You knew where her phone was earlier, and you weren't even in the room with her. It's
Coke bottles.
I speak Amy.
Yeah.
You do. You do speak Amy. Yes, all of that things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
One in 10 women, or is it 1 in 4, died giving childbirth in colonial America.
I don't think that number has changed much. It's in Georgia.
Oh,
yeah. Our maternal death rate is awful.
Oh gosh,
it's
awful.
awful.
Here's the thing. A lot of people just hate women and don't really care about them or treat them like people, especially in the red states.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that is, to answer your question, what they used to do back in the day. It was die. It was pretty much just die. Die a lot. And they'd be like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have had done the childbirth. They're like, don't you want me to? They're like, yeah. But now I have the next generation, so you can go.
I can't run away from the predators right now. I'm just real crampy.
Real crampy, and I'm not allowed to have a bank account.
I can't.
Or a credit card.
I can't make my way to shelter.
Not until the 70s could women get credit cards without having their husband sign them up for one.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's crazy.
So that means my mom was in law school before she could have a credit card in her own name.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Now my kids have credit cards.
I know, right? I like the idea of the modern girl going back in time. Do you ever play the game like you go back, you wake up, like kind of like that TV show where the lady goes to Scotland and she bones everyone. But you wake up.
What's that? Is that a porn you found?
No, it is, but it's on regular television. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Highlander.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that what the concept is?
Yeah. So she goes through a rock and she it goes back and it's the 1700s.
Is
And
there a guy named Jamie in it?
Yes.
Everyone talks. I went to Scotland, so that's all they talked about. And I was like, I haven't watched. Can we go look at the Game of Thrones stuff?
You basically went to Disney World without watching a single Disney movie.
Yeah,
That's
what happened.
Scotland's biggest export right now is Jamie. So you wake up and it's whatever, 500 years ago, 400 years ago, whatever. How do you survive? I think it'd be funny to do that as a character. I'm just too crampy. I'm having a personal day. I'm not going to be able to
That's like
work in the castle.
Being on Survivor also is like that. But they have PBS has documentaries about that, like the 1800 house.
Yes, I saw that. But I think if it really happened, immediately you're murdered because you're a stranger and everyone's really in their tribes.
They
Sounds
think,
like you're a witch.
Yeah, I would definitely be a witch. I mean, look at my hair. They'd be like, what is wrong with her hair?
Oh my gosh.
I'd have to straighten it so I could fit in.
This is why is she wearing Doc Martens? I played this game with my husband. I was like, well, maybe I could try to get work interior decorating. No, I can't, obviously. And he's like, when are we doing it?
You're not allowed to work.
300 years ago? Okay, I invent electricity, and then I invent the radio, and then I invent television. And I was like, you can do all that? You know? He's like, yeah, I know how to do all that. It's in his brain. He wouldn't even need to Google it on his non-existent phone.
Oh, man, I want to be your neighbor.
Nate Bargatze has a really good joke about that, talking about going back in time.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh, I do this, I do this." And he's like, "How? How are you going to do that? You don't have you're not smart now. You wouldn't be smart then just because you know what electricity is now." Yeah.
He said he wouldn't even be able to convince people he's from the future. He'd be like, "Who's the president?" "Oh, I don't know."
Right? We wouldn't know any information about the past either, or be able to predict it. Because I don't retain that information.
Time travel is kind of only set up for white men, sadly. I at least going back in the past.
Yeah. Well, I guess if it's which country you're in.
Depending on where you're going, but especially if you're time traveling back in America, you're just gonna get killed once again. Probably.
I think we would die from smallpox immediately.
Also very true.
Yeah.
But then you'll be like, in the future, we'll have monkeypox.
Shut up, witch. Oh my gosh. Be a brisket. Burned at the stake.
We have brisket.
Okay. So let's what else are you nerdy for, sweet friend?
I
also have another question, by the way.
Okay.
I want to find out about your wedding day too.
Okay.
But
which first?
Let's do your wedding day, and then we'll do another what you're nerdy for.
Okay.
And let's see what we're doing with time. Start talking about what was your favorite memory from your wedding day?
My favorite memory was the rehearsal dinner Friday night. People were giving speeches, and I had my friends from college pretend like they were going to do a skit for me when really I was going to do a skit for Aaron. And so they pulled me up on stage and they had me sit in this chair, and then the song from my best friend's wedding came on, wishing and hoping and thinking and I lip synced the whole entire thing.
Like a drag queen.
Yes, like a drag queen for Aaron, and I brought him on stage and lip synced to him.
Oh, was he okay with that?
Yes.
Kenton would die a million deaths.
He was definitely okay. I don't know, I feel like the whole wedding weekend was just went by so quickly, and there's things that I would have done differently. But we got married so young. We were 24.
Yeah.
That's insanely
That's what we were.
young.
Yeah, right out of college.
Even back then, that was young.
Did you get married in 2000?
2002.
Okay.
So it's, we met when we were 21, 22, and then it didn't feel young when we got married. And we were, Aaron and I were never partiers. So we were always homebodies and like to have people over, and we make dinner together and drink while we do it. But,
that's sweet. Y'all are still in love. I love that.
We're still in love. He's my best friend.
Did you have a bunch of friends get married at the same time at that age, and now they're all divorced?
We had a handful of friends get married at that age, and then another handful probably like 8 years later.
Yeah. It's a thing. People coming out of college get married because they were like, I guess this is the next step.
Right.
And then they get divorced right away. And there's like, it's happening right now to my friend's son's generation.
I really just have one friend that got a divorce, and that's it. But none of my, those are really like my childhood friends. So, and my friends from college, my one friend from college who got married like right around the same time, she's still married. And then I have 2 friends from college who got married like in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So they're fresh.
Newlyweds.
They still like each other.
They got to get the vagina cream, but you're still newlyweds.
Right. They're not annoyed yet by their husband's loud chewing yet, but they're almost there.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm gonna think my favorite memory from my wedding day. We got married in upstate New York in a church that didn't have any air conditioning in August. But it's usually not that hot there because it's so close to Canada, and all that maple syrup just brings the temperature down. During our they had all the windows open in the church. Well, the ones that could open. And during our vows, when the organ wasn't playing, it was very quiet, and you could just hear our voices, and it rained. Like, it was like, shh. And then, like, I, Amy, take you, Kenton.
Oh, that sounds
with
romantic.
With, like, the rain playing. Yeah, that's one of my favorite memories.
Where'd y'all go on your honeymoon?
Barbados. Where did you go?
We went to Costa Rica. I cried. I thought I was going to die.
Oh, no.
We took a puddle jumper from San Jose to south to the Osa Peninsula. And we were in this tiny airport, sitting in these chairs, waiting for our flight, and this gentleman comes up to us and goes, "Are you Aaron and Amanda?" And we go, "Yes." And he goes, "I'm your pilot." And we're like, "Okay." Oh my God. And we got on this
You took an Uber in the sky.
Right? It was like, "Hey, I'm your taxi." It was basically like an air taxi. And it was like a 6-person prop plane. In every pocket of wind, the plane would fall 100 feet and then pop back up.
Oh gosh!
Because it was windy and it was just in between mountains, and I'm like, we're gonna be that couple that dies on their honeymoon.
Did you throw up in the plane?
No, but I did cry. I couldn't help myself. Like, when you're watching an intense or scary movie, and I was in it, and I couldn't help. I was so scared, I was crying, and I don't that's not. I don't just start crying when I don't get scared. I mean, I was really afraid for my life, and I was like, this guy's old. I'm going to have to climb over these few people and fly this plane if something happens to him.
That's some confidence right there.
Well, that's a mom energy there.
I'm really handy. I'm really good at figuring out things and how to fix things, and if I needed to save our life, I would have been. I've watched a lot of movies where people are flying planes. I think I could have figured
it out. That's part of pilot school, I'm sure.
It's watching movies.
Yes, watching movies.
I've seen Airplane.
Yeah.
And Final Destination.
You're like, just pull the stick up, push it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Kill all the snakes, and then.
The only thing is I didn't speak Spanish, so I wouldn't have been able to communicate very well. With
Kill the vice
tower.
president, but save the president.
Yeah.
I know all the rules. Try to bone in that little tiny bathroom that smells like piss.
There wasn't even a bathroom.
Yeah.
There was no snack. There's no peanuts in that plane. It would have weighed it down.
There's some accidental bathrings.
Right. It gave you depends.
The emergency bathroom. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm going to ask you one more thing, but you're nerdy for, and then I have these series of questions.
Okay.
Well, then maybe it's been 46 minutes. Maybe we go right into, unless there's what you're dying to talk about anything.
Not whatever you want to. I mean, I'll tell you what I'm nerdy for.
Wait, what is your favorite snow cone flavor?
So I'm really not fun because I make all these flavors, but I just like ice. I'm happy with the snow. I just want the snow.
plain ice for me, please.
It's not even literally I've gone up to the Kona ice truck and been like, can I just get some snow? I just want it.
Is that okay? Is this because you have simple tastes or you're that cheap?
No. I thought you were gonna say, is this because you're a Southerner? And it's because I didn't grow up with snow. Right?
That's true.
And whenever it did snow, I was eating snow off of precarious places
I wonder why your daughter just licks salt off of things.
Right?
Who knows?
Wonder
Runs
where
in the
that comes
family.
Can't figure out where this habit came from.
Oh my gosh, that makes sense. So
like
like
snow.
your snow cone machine, not only is it saving you money because of the $2 per snow cone, it's basically a trip skiing for you.
Yeah.
So-
No, it's a trip to the
the north.
I'm not gonna go skiing.
It's a plane
let's be real.
ticket. It's a
That's too
lodge.
dangerous.
Stay.
Skiing's terrible. It's terrifying.
I would never go on a ski lift. That just looks dangerous.
Oh my God, it's terrifying. And my family does it all the time. And every time I'm on there, I'm like, okay, who's going to go into diabetic shock and pull us all to our death?
Yeah, now I have to like not only get on it, I have to get off of it and not fall off of that. How is that possible?
And having it like your small child, like the bar doesn't even hold them in. And I'm
What?
like, Kenton, if the baby dies, it's your fault. Like I can't even.
I
can't
cannot.
even
That is
watch
too
it.
much stress. Mm-mm.
And then what if you get stuck on it? You just gotta sit there.
Yeah.
You don't get stuck on it. It's not like getting your tongue frozen to.
No,
a
I meant like
flagpole.
if it stops and it gets stuck or
Yeah.
something like just.
Oh, they get the bodies off pretty quick and get that thing going.
I'll do that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That would be my concern
I've not gone skiing, so I don't know.
Neither have I. I went snowboarding once.
Yeah.
And when I was
That's hard. It's harder than
well,
skiing.
I took my husband when we lived in Albuquerque for about 7 months, and we went to Taos to go snowboarding. My husband grew up in Albuquerque, and we took a snowboarding lesson together. But 2 minutes in, he goes bye, and he left to go snowboarding and left me with the two 12-year-olds and the instructor. And then I'm not coordinated. So and then he's like, after this lesson, we're going to have lunch and then we're going to get on that ski lift. And I'm like, this is where I bow out. I'm like, there's no way I'm not only getting
I'm
on
gonna
that
stay
ski
at the
lift,
resort and eat snow.
but right? I'm going to stay up on top of that mountain and eat snow. I wouldn't be able to come down.
You do spend, when you're learning snowboarding, you spend more of the time laying on the ground than you do standing up. So
I thought I was going to murder someone because I would try and get low to the ground because it felt safer, but then it made me faster. And I'm like, I am a projectile. I am a projectile.
you got more aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's really dangerous. I don't care for it.
I don't like dangerous things.
I don't like dangerous things either.
I'm okay with scary things, right? Like
Taking
getting on-
over the plane that the guy has a
Yeah,
heart
I
attack
could
and
do
you
that.
have to
No,
fly
that's
it.
life-saving. That's a life-saving measure. But I mean, like, people are like freaked out by getting on stage. I'm not. That doesn't scare me.
Mm-hmm.
But anything performance-based that's out of my comfort zone, like, I'm okay with that.
Uh-huh.
Like, I was in a play last year, and I had never like done that before. I mean, unless you count like 7th grade being in the Birmingham Jewish Day School play as the Pharaoh.
There's a Jewish school in Birmingham.
Yeah.
There's that many Jewish people there.
There's not that many Jewish people there.
Oh, how big was the school?
I had 5 people in my 7th grade class.
Oh, that is small.
Yeah. I was the best girl on my basketball team, though.
Oh.
I was also the only girl.
You're a big fish. A big fish in a little pond.
So technically, you're also the worst.
Right? Yes. I was a big gefilte fish.
Yeah.
In a,
Hey,
in a
the
little
big
pond.
gefilte fish in
Yeah.
a little pod. I like those odds. So like this is a question I have.
Okay.
So like if historically Jewish folks are supposed to marry other Jewish folks. Do you have to,
Historically.
right? Like some people are real sticklers about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like those are the people who live where there's other Jewish folks hanging around. Like do you have to import them or do you guys just like loosey-goosey about it?
Well, as the representative for all Jews in the world,
South. No, just
I would,
Alabama, just your town.
People leave. People go elsewhere.
And find someone and bring
And
them back.
they don't go back. I didn't go back. I'm not going back to Birmingham. Birmingham is lovely. Don't attack me. It's changed. It's different. It's a different community, but it was too homogeneous for me where I grew up.
Probably.
And everyone was like my cousin.
I was gonna say, are you all related?
You're either related to the Sokals or the Goldsteins. And then neither the two shall combine because we're best friends because we grew up with each other like
It'd be weird.
like cousins.
It's like kissing your brother.
Yeah,
Which
I
can
just-
be fun, I'm told, but
Look, I married a Jewish guy from Albuquerque. We met in Boston. We both went to school in Boston, but we met on JDate.
Yeah.
When it was like embarrassing to be online dating.
no, it was new. Yeah, it was brand new.
And we didn't tell people. It was so embarrassing. We didn't
Y'all
tell.
should have told J-Date. You could have got.
I
like,
did.
Did you get a sponsorship with
Oh,
them?
yeah,
Were you one of their like success stories?
I feel like I was an early on success
There
story
we
because
go.
we met in '99.
I know so many people who got married back in the day
Yeah.
from J-Day, and they're going strong.
This is actually a crazy story. So Aaron, we met. I had just finished my senior year. He had a year to go. And
a younger man.
yeah, he's 5 months younger than me, but he looks 10 years older. So that doesn't.
Did you age him? A man is too much.
I just look good. So,
all my husband's hair is falling out.
Oh yeah, that
it
happens.
can't be because I talk at him too much.
My eyebrows are falling out, but that's
no.
a different story.
Oh gosh.
Oh god, I paint them on. But anyway, so I met his grandmother.
Is there radiation coming out of the snow cone machine and is burning off your eyebrows?
That's what it is. They're freezing off my eyebrows. This is the snow cone's fault. But at his graduation, I meet his grandmother, and she's telling me this story about how she went to this Jewish summer camp in Cleveland, and how it was the 1930s. She was asked to be a counselor there. Like, it was for Jewish refugees. It was like younger Jewish refugees. It was a summer camp for underprivileged Jewish kids. The older kids in the Jewish community, they'd ask you to be a counselor there.
What generation is this?
This is, she's
like
our grandparents.
The people who used to own this house sponsored Jewish children to get out of Austria and Germany during Nazi times and got them adopted into places in the United States.
Oh, wow.
So
this was
your grandmother is like
this is the 10 years
50s.
before then. So this was in the 1930s.
Okay.
So so that was more in the 1940s, the decade you're talking about. So I'm like, this story sounds so familiar, right? Mm-hmm. So I went to my grandmother, my dad's mom, who actually grew up in Cleveland also. And I said, Nana, can you tell me the story about your camp? And she told me the exact same story. I was asked to be a camp counselor. It was for underprivileged kids. I loved it. Camp Weiss. And I went back to Aaron's grandmother. What's your camp? She said, Camp Weiss. And his grandmother had a lot of work done, would never tell her age. And I was like, there's no way she is my grandmother's age, right? Mm-hmm. But my grandmother has a picture of all these camp counselors together from the 1930s, including her. And I go and look at it, and 2 heads away from her is Aaron's grandmother.
Wow.
Goose Pimple City,
Yeah.
small world.
So they were at camp at the same time in the 1930s, and they both loved Jewish summer camp. And we all went to Jewish summer camp like that. Like you talk about, like, Jews marrying Jews, and it's because our population dwindled down in the 1940s. So we're like, well, let's bring it back up. And for me, it's more so. I don't tell my kids you have to marry someone Jewish. I suggest that they find a partner that grew up similar to them, or has similar, moral values, so that you can replicate that for your family, right? So, and some people don't want to marry someone who grew up similar to them because they may have come from like a broken household or whatever that they don't want to replicate. But there's certain things that you do, certain things about your childhood. And for my kids, it's like but like they wouldn't necessarily marry someone who's Jewish who is ultra Orthodox, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not a similar way to how we're bringing up our kids. And so anyways, I just think it's a different discussion for me with my kids when it comes to that.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I say to my boys, I have 2 boys, I'm like, just don't marry a bitch, please. Just find a nice girl.
Yeah.
Or whatever you're into.
Yeah.
They cannot be a bitch, please. Don't have them
nice
ruin
person.
Thanksgiving.
A nice person.
A nice person. All right. That's fascinating. Okay. Here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Have you ever ridden on a unicycle?
No.
I thought you might.
I'm not coordinated to do. I think I'd be too scared I'd get hurt.
I can see you on a unicycle juggling snow cones.
You know what? I think I one time tried and I couldn't even get it up. It's very hard, that unicycle.
Do you have you ever played a woodwind instrument?
Woodwind?
Yeah, I don't.
Is
even know
that
what
like a flute?
Yeah,
I mean a
clarinet.
recorder.
Yeah.
Didn't everyone play the recorder?
Did you play an instrument?
Yeah, I mean,
What'd you play, nerd? What'd you play?
My parents made me take piano lessons forever, and I was awful. I never knew the notes, and Mrs. Engelbert would feed me cream cheese sandwiches and Diet Dr. Pepper, and that's why I like going to her house.
Oh.
She'd be like, Amanda's so good at the piano, Arlene, and I was terrible.
Was she just trying to feed you? Were you too skinny?
No, she was just was
She
not
just
too
wanted a
skinny.
friend and to get paid.
Have you ever held a ferret?
Yes. I've held a ferret. I had a cousin who had a ferret, and the ferret was let loose in her room, and it was a magical creature.
A female woman that had a ferret?
Yeah, she had a ferret.
This is a first.
My girlfriend loves ferrets.
It was it was a nice ferret. I think now I'd be a little freaked out by ferrets. I'd be worried they're going to bite me. But this was a nice ferret.
A nice ferret. Okay. All right. I'll allow it. Do you have a cape?
I mean, yeah, I have a Wonder Woman costume. I have so many costumes.
We're like the same person.
What do you mean, do I have a cape? I showed up in a wedding dress today.
I love it. Okay. We should have a tea party after this.
Should. I don't think I can drink anything hot, though.
Do you have
rip this dress off?
I know. We could do champagne in the cups. We can pretend it's Prohibition times. Do you have a Harry Potter wand?
Yes, but it's not mine. It is like Murray went as
just holding it for her friend.
I'm holding it for a friend. I've acquired a lot of costumes for my sister because she has 3 boys, so she gave me all their costumes.
And you wear them?
No, that's what Murray. We have somewhere like in a closet. We have a Harry Potter wand for that costume. It's not mine. I've never done.
Well, then
Harry
you don't
Potter.
have like the expensive one that you get at the fancy store where it's
that
like,
sounded a little judgy.
No, it's
Then
for
you don't have.
It's for the real
You
nerds.
don't really have.
Yeah, if it's in a closet and not on display.
No, it's not on display. No,
I try to see.
I don't.
My boys have, and I was using it too. I really got into Harry Potter, and I was too old to. It was very embarrassing. Do you know Morse code?
And I think I could figure it out.
You're so confident. I love this about you. I think you could go back in time and you would be
She's
fine.
like, I'll crash
I'd be
land the
so
plane.
good.
I'll figure out Morse code. We can
Yeah.
speak.
I feel like if I was on a Survivor island, like people would like me because I'd be resourceful. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to build a hut, but I could figure it out.
And you're real chatty, so you're good at communicating, and it's like honest. It's like you're like in real time, what's happening. You're like problem solving. You're working it together, and you don't get tired.
Blind confidence can really get you really far.
With communication.
Yeah.
I don't think it's blind confidence for me. I'm doing this based on.
It's real confidence.
It is real confidence.
It's
it is.
full. It's 2020 seeing perfectly
Yeah,
confident.
yeah.
Right. I know what I'm not good at. I'll tell balancing on unicycles. Not good.
Oh my gosh, you don't get tired. I get overwhelmed by around 2:30. I can't make any more
I get
decisions.
sleepy.
Sleepy's different. I get depressed. And I can't
Yeah.
make any more decisions. I feel like you get sleepy, but you still have a smile on your face when you're napping.
I get energy from being around people. Okay, I need to be around people.
I have a fantasy, because I'm too much for my husband and both of my children, it turns out. So in the end, can we just live together?
Okay.
Okay.
Can we
and when
go-
Ruby can come.
All my kids we're all a lot in my family. You just move in with us.
I'll move in with you guys.
Aaron can move in with Kenton.
Tell them
They'll go. Aaron watched a 6-hour play last night. I said, no, I'm not going to that. It had multiple intermissions. He texted me and was like,
Oh God.
we're almost done with this last intermission.
Was it German opera?
It was a French play about the Holocaust. And I was like, you're not doing a good job of selling this play to me.
6 hours of, ooh.
He got home at 11. Anyways, I digress. What's the next question?
I would be depressed for a week after that.
I would have fallen asleep in that.
Oh my gosh. Did you ever? Oh, so you went to Jewish camp.
Yeah.
So usually we ask like space camp, math camp, writing camp, science camp, allergy camp. But maybe Jewish camp is allergy camp.
Jewish camp is all those things. You also learn how to give hand jobs at Jewish summer camp.
That's also all
that's
camps.
why I-
That's all
is
camps
that all
too.
camp?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never
yeah.
went to camp. Maybe that's why I'm bad at
If
that.
you just put a bunch of like young people together, there's gonna be horniness happening.
Everything you learn about the penis, you learn at Jewish summer camp.
Yeah.
Is there any? This explains so much because I never went to camp and
Okay.
I am a late bloomer.
I'm sure there's camps for adults.
You
should
sound
go
like
to
my
comp-
husband.
We should go to,
Yeah. I
we
think
should go to
they might be
comedy
called
camp.
swinger clubs, but you know,
yeah.
at a comedy camp, that'd be
Hedonism.
so much fucking too much.
Too much depression.
Yeah.
But everyone pile your antidepressants up on the table. We'll grind them up. And
Be like
snort
a
'em.
buffet.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever framed a puzzle?
No.
I like how that's what you look down on. You're like, ugh.
Have you ever said huzzah? Like huzzah.
No.
Okay.
I've said hooray, but
Okay.
from that TikTok video, you know what that.
I know what you're talking
TikTok video.
about.
So
Hooray!
this is stupid. Because have you ever worn a costume more than one day in a row? Like
the same
goth,
costume?
Or like, this is who I am now. I wear costumes to school.
No, but I do. I mean, I
You
wear
wear a costume over here.
Oh, well, maybe my banana costume.
Oh my gosh, your banana! You buried the lead. All right,
I've worn that banana costume
a lot on the internet for sure.
lot.
Okay, we have to get a picture.
I know banana. I feel like it's a pretty common, like, just silly costume though, because it's
With
just
the
like
banana?
the one piece banana costume.
But did you run for mayor of your city in the banana costume as Bamanda?
This makes so much sense, and I will also need a photo of you trying to run for mayor in a banana costume.
How about a video? Because
Great.
that's what I made.
Give it to us. They'll see it on YouTube right now.
Someone nominated me, and I was like, I'm not a competitive person when it comes to athletics.
Okay, there we go.
But
There
if
we go.
it's creative, then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I am making a campaign video. And then guess what? I got all the votes. Hi, I'm Amanda Marks, and I have been nominated as the unofficial mayor of Oakhurst. You may recognize me from the comments section on the Oakhurst Facebook page, the produce section, or from nothing at all. It's truly just an honor to be nominated, and I hope to follow in the footsteps of other fictional mayors that are also food, like Mayor McCheese. I'm here to tell you all votes are important. So whether you vote for someone else or you vote for me, it doesn't matter. Just vote for the right person. That's right, I said right. I'm a banana. I'm Amanda Marks, the banana lady, and I approve this message. And then he said, everyone's a winner. And I said, no, everyone is not
I'm
the winner.
the winner.
I am actually the winner.
I'm the banana mayor.
Bamanda.
Amanda, see, confidence. She's like, I
Yeah.
can run this town. Was this Decatur? Are you the
even
mayor?
smaller? It was Oakhurst.
Okay, so you're the mayor of
And
Oakhurst.
someone's like, Amanda, do you even live in Oakhurst?
Oh,
And I was like, I live.
scandal.
It's a tangent. I'm tangent to
It's a
Oakhurst.
scandal.
I can commute.
Right.
Okay. Yes, you're so confident. You're gonna run for mayor of the town you don't live in.
I knew I would win.
Okay, there's no way that. Have you ever written fan fiction?
No.
Do you have a tattoo?
No.
Have you ever brewed your own mead?
No.
Do you watch Jeopardy on Netflix?
I don't watch Jeopardy.
Okay. Do you have binoculars near a window to look at birds?
No, I don't, but I have binoculars somewhere.
What do you just looking at wieners with it? You can see all the way to the Jewish summer camp from your house.
That's right. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. Do you get excited buying school supplies?
This is a hard question because it used to be fun when I was little and you could go pick out your custom Trapper Keeper, but now they don't want any of that stuff, and they're like, we need a red notebook, we need this brand of pencils. So it's not fun. My kids like it, but I just go onto Target's website and buy it on there, and it ships directly to me, and I'm done. So I don't enjoy it anymore. You see, I'm a little sad about that.
Yeah.
I tried to buy my kids a Trapper Keeper, and they were underappreciative of it. I'm like,
Did you go Lisa Frank or were you like 5-star? Which one?
oh, it was a 5-star.
Yeah.
It was it was like a $45 Trapper Keeper. I'm like, this will be the Trapper Keeper you use throughout school. And they're like,
You're gonna
this is
write
too
down
much.
your name and then your imaginary future husband's name
Oh,
inside.
MASH. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
MASH.
Amanda Mash.
I love that game.
No, did you ever play MASH?
What's Mash?
It's like mansion, apartment, shack, house.
Oh
That's
my
what the
God,
acronym
Amy,
stands
if
for.
we had time, we could
and
play
then
it.
you go through and like you pick a number you go through because it tells you like who you're gonna marry, how
what
many
kind of
times,
car
what
they're
kind
gonna,
of
how many kids, and you have to put in each category. You have to put in something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like something you wouldn't want, like 9 children. No way.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Is it similar to your stripper name? Like the
No,
dog?
a lot more
It's a lot more
complicated.
complicated, and it
Yeah.
can change every
You
time.
could play this during the podcast every time.
Yeah.
That would be a fun game to play.
If we have Amanda back on, we'll play
Well,
MASH.
here,
We'll
this
play
last
it.
question is a kind of like down that category.
Okay.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Okay, so I have a couple, but I'm going to say this most recent one because I cried when I saw this trailer.
I thought they died.
No. So we saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but right before,
It was very good.
there is another Indiana Jones coming out, and old man crush Harrison Ford, majorly, and I was doing this.
Cheese grommet.
I was so excited. I love Indiana Jones. We can't even call it a trilogy. What is it when they're 4? Quadrilogy?
Well, this is technically the 5th one because they had that terrible Crystal Skulls one. So this is the 5th.
Oh, yeah,
Indiana
that
Jones.
was so bad. You're right.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
Syncology?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know it's a trilogy. I don't know what they would call
Penta.
I'm excited for that because Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in it, and she's my celebrity crush.
Is that who plays his goddaughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's the creator of Fleabag and Crashing and Killing Eve.
Okay.
Yes, she's
okay.
very, very talented.
Okay. But back to what I'm nerdy about, my other celebrity crush is Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys. Because I am a huge Beastie Boys fan.
Yes.
Like when MCA died.
No
about
sleep
till
Brooklyn.
That is true. But so
Sorry.
MCA died about 11 years ago on May 4th.
Yeah.
Oh.
And when he died, I had people from high school that I had not talked to in years.
Oh no, reaching out.
Reach out to me and say, I am so sorry for your loss.
Was your trapper keeper all of his face?
No, it's
Your locker?
But I loved the Beast. People would go to me for like Beastie Boys knowledge and advice and all sorts of things.
Did it take a big part of your article every time? Like,
Beastie Boys did not make it to the school newspaper. No, it did not.
oh, that's really sweet though that people thought about you. Like,
But I still have all my Beastie Boys T-shirts, and they are sometimes on loan with my children.
oh wow.
But I'm very clear. You can't take this to camp. You can't take this T-shirt to
Get
camp.
Yeah.
Jewish
And
penis all over
and
it.
it goes back in my closet. And there's certain shirts they're not allowed to wear.
No fucking in my Beastie Boys shirt.
Yeah, nothing crusty.
I'll go get you some.
Ew. Oh my God,
I'll go get you
stop.
some Target clothes.
Oh
no!
That's not going to sound good.
Is that okay?
No,
Are
we're
your
fine.
ears
We're
okay?
fine. We're fine.
We're professionals. Okay, so Amanda and I actually, this is important that we talk about.
Okay.
We run a comedy show together. It's called,
Top Shelf stand-up comedy at Distillery of Modern Art.
and it's once a month, and it's going to be running on Sundays. We have the next one is the 21st of May. I don't know when this is coming out. Maybe can we push it forward and release it?
Yeah, we can push this one
we could do
forward.
this one forward. And then we're taking the summer off. We're coming back in the fall.
Yeah, in
and it's-
August.
In August.
Which will still be summer.
Yeah, but it's the drinks there are so fancy.
They're so good.
Yeah. it's
Come
so
get a monogrammed ice cube
Yeah.
and see some comedy.
If you'd like some fancy ice.
Yeah, we can all get matching tattoos. All right, Amanda Marks, thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Ah!